So I've been out here working lately, been bending up a bunch of tube. This roll cage is just about near finished. It's all tucked up right up to the roof, all the way around, all the way down. Some nice base plates. Still got a little bit to do on that guy. Today I'm gonna be working on this Bashbar. I got the tubes basically bent last night. As you can see, this one pretty much fits all the way up in there. This one I wanted a little bit staggered just so it doesn't look identical. So this one's just a tad bit off right here. There's a little bit of room. But it's gonna sit right up against here so that the bumper will sit right on it and support it. And it's a tad bit further back too, so it doesn't look too funny when it's on the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend up a tube from here to there, and as you can see right here, there's a little bit of gap, so I'm going to have to go up and then around and down. And same as for this one, because there's a little bit of thing, I'm going to have a bend coming out like that. So basically that's what we're going to do, and we're going to cut this tube down right here. And yeah, I'll kind of show you guys how I do the bending and stuff. So this is the bender over here. It's a JD squared model 4 bender. It's all hydraulic, so there's no ram. It's actually not even bolted down because my landlord doesn't want me to bolt anything to the floor. So I've been using this. This is my buddy's bender, and he's nice enough to let me borrow it. So it's not exactly the cheapest thing in the world, so I appreciate it much. These bars were pretty hard to make, but I got them done, and now we just got to make the supports for them, and then we'll take it over to Patrick's house. That's who the bumper is getting made for, and then kind of modify whatever we need to make it bolt on or make it weld onto the car. We're gonna make it quick release, so basically there's gonna be sleeves on the car, and then basically this is just gonna slide over those sleeves, and then you're gonna put a pin in it, and that's how it's gonna hold on. Should be pretty good and should look way more professional than the one that he had on it. So yeah, let's get to it. So I pretty much figured out that this is gonna be just about a 21-degree bend to get away from the side of the bumper right here. And yeah, so it's gonna be about 17 inches long, because that's how long it has to be to fit into the bender. If you're too short, it's not gonna be able to bend the actual tube, so we gotta start long and then cut it down later. It's we're gonna kind of go through a little bit of material, but that's all you can do, because you can't bend something, you know, less than I think 16 inches or something. And I just want to be safe to have enough to where when it's bent, you know, I'm not gonna run out of tube in the bender, so it doesn't bend it. Essentially, you'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. I'll explain it then. But as for now, I got this tube right here that's a scrap piece off this car, and we're gonna cut it up and throw her in the bender. All right, so I got the tube all cut out. Now we're gonna load it in the bender. So, put it like this, open that up, slide that through, and then this guy's gotta go just like that. And yeah, then you want to put some pressure on her like that to hold it in place. And then now I have to figure out where I'm going to put the bend in it. I want it as close to the bottom as possible, so I got to figure out if I bring it back this way or bring it that way. But this is what I was talking about. So if I leave it out too much right here and it goes to bend it, this guider, this guides it around the die to bend the tube, and if this slides off the tube, then well, that's no bueno. So what we have to do is make sure that it's far enough this way to where I'm gonna get my entire bend without this guider falling off. So I think this is where I'm gonna bend it. I don't know if this is gonna work, but the first time you try something, you just gotta kind of hope that it works, and if it doesn't, then we'll try something different. But I got basically 2 inches hanging off right here from that die. That's how we're gonna know that we can replicate this. It's 16, let's see, how long was it again? So, this tube is, yeah, 16 and a quarter long. Anyways, 16 and a quarter long. We got 2 inches showing right here. So basically that's how we're gonna replicate this. We'll just make the tube the same exact as this one and load it in the bender the exact same. So, yep, let's bend it. So we got 9 degrees right now and we're all tight up in the bender. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that to 29 to get a 21 degree bend since there's already 8 degrees there. So we'll just press down on our foot pedal and watch this thing bend. You gotta go a little bit past, and then basically the metal will spring back, so we're about a degree off now. And we're out of air. You know what? We're at about 28 and a half. Let's just go ahead and dry that. Worst case, we'll just throw it back in here and bend it a little bit more. So go ahead and press back on the foot pedal, and this thing will retract back into the whatever that is, the ram, and basically shove it forward. If I can with one hand, and then we're left with our tube. I'll twist this out of the way, and then yeah, so now we got a nice bent tube. So yeah, and then basically that will go just about like so, and we'll cut it and notch it, and then yeah, well, it'll kind of go like that. So I'm gonna figure out, basically just mark where I want my notches, at what angle I want this thing at. Do I want it full? Do I want it tilted a little bit like this? Do I want it like that? You know, I gotta figure out that, and then mark it, and then we'll shove it in our notcher, and then I'll pick the camera back up and show you guys how to notch a tube. Alright, so I kind of figured out where I'm going to put it. It's going to sit about like that, a little bit twisted. I have it marked right there for that line straight right there. That lets me know at what angle it's going to be at. That's flat. Then that is where the notch is going to be on both ends. And I usually do like a little O circle right there, just to let me know that that's where the tube is going to go through, so that's where I need to cut, so that when I put it in the bender, I don't put it like this or whatever, you know, and cut the wrong way, because I have done that a few times. I mean, you know, you make mistakes when you do this stuff, and that's kind of one of the common things that I find myself running into, is I'll cut this way when I meant to cut that way. You know, it's just kind of one of those things. So now we'll put this up here, something like that. Get out of the way. And then got to get this tube in here like so. Tighten it on down. So we got to make sure that that mark is just about straight, and then this thing's tight, so you got to loosen these guys for this particular notcher. It's made by Ballet. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link in the bottom. Yeah, and I'll put the link for the bender in the bottom too, see if you're curious. And then yeah, so basically I'm just gonna angle this to where it's the same, at the same angle with the Sharpie, and then I'll grab the camera again. Alright, so now I got it lined up pretty straight with the marker. You don't have to get too precise because I did undermark this, so we are gonna have to go back and probably cut one more time just to make sure. With metal, when you're fabricating, you always want to take off less material than you think, just because you can take more metal off, but you can't put additional metal back on. So, with that said, I'm going to tighten everything up, and then we'll get to notching this thing. You will always want to spray a little lube on here when you're bending and when you're notching. It just makes the process go a little bit better. Alright, now it's all notched. Of course we're gonna have to clean it up with the flap disc, but yeah, we can kind of figure out where it's gonna sit, if it's looking correct on there, and then we can notch the other one, the other side. So when I mated it up in there, I noticed that when I got this on the top tube, the bottom was off just a little bit. So if you see there's two lines right here, that was the old one, this is the new one. So it was gonna end up being twisted if I would have just gone and notched that. That's why you always want to test the fit before you do another cut or do another bend or whatever. So now, and right here was way off. So right here is where our new cut is, and that's still a little bit undercut, just to leave us a little bit just in case. So now we're gonna mate this up, loosen it up, twist it, all that to get over to here. And we're gonna cut that, and then we're gonna test fit it again. And it should hopefully fit. Got the other side all notched out, and without any trimming, it fits perfectly snug. And you can see that there's no gaps. It's perfectly tied up in there. And yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna whip up the other one. Got it all whipped up, just like that. So we're gonna head over to Patrick's. Maybe I'll get a few clips there for the off-season videos, and you guys will see those soon. I'm still waiting on a few little things that I want to put together, like an intro and stuff. Once that's done, then we can start releasing those videos, and I'm stoked on that. Those should be pretty good and pretty fun. Other than that, we're gonna head over to Patrick's house, get a few clips, and then go back, finish up the bumper. I want to finish that today, get it all, well, not finished, but get it all tacked up into the bumper at my house. And then we'll bring it over to Patrick's house, and then I'll get it actually like welded to the car and everything. Figure out what kind of bends we need off the car to meet to the bumper, the middle of the bumper. It's kind of hard to explain, but you guys will find out soon.
Almost as bad as your haircut.
Sparkly, sparkly.
Sparkles, Mr. Sparkles to you. What's up, Casey? How's it going? Good. Good.
So it's the next day. I kind of got carried away with doing other stuff yesterday, but now I'm back in the garage and we're gonna, well, I actually just got one more tube done. So this one just kind of bends up because of this. So I have to have a bend in it, and then it bends back over and goes to the top bar there. So that's what it looks like. We're just gonna have to replicate that to put on the other side. So basically replicate it, put the notches opposite to each other. So instead of going this way, it goes that way. But it should be pretty easy. I marked down right here that it was a 91 degree bend. So all I gotta do is cut out a 25-inch long piece of tube, put it in the bender, bend it to 91 degrees, line it up to this one, cut it, then notch it, and then it should go on there. Just like that, it's all done. And we got a new tube in there. And everything is tacked together. So I'm gonna set you guys down and I'm gonna pull it out. Oh my God. This thing looks so sick. Look at this thing. It looks so dope. I can't wait to mate this thing to the car and see what it looks like on the actual car. But just look at it. It just looks sick. So I think I'm still gonna cut this off right here. So none of this will be there because the fender will actually kind of sit in right there. And I just think going this way will look a little bit better. So this is gonna get cut off. That's about 7 inches of metal material get cut off on both sides, but look at it. Thing looks sick. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Kind of just showed you how to bend some tube and notch some tube and kind of, you know, bring you along for the build of this bumper. Sorry I didn't really film the top portion or bottom portion of the bends. It was just, it's kind of one of those things that, you know, you just start doing it and then you're like, well, do I go grab the camera or do I just keep going and, you know, see if this will work? It's like, I'm kind of going along, like learning as I go type of thing. Like, is this gonna work? I've never done this before, you know, like, and then it worked. So, you know, it's just one of those things. I'm sorry that I haven't uploaded in about a month. You know, it's just kind of, I've been busy doing this cage in here. So, if any of you guys are local around Evergreen Speedway in Monroe, you know, Snohomish, Everett, around there, hit me up if you want some fabrication done. If you want a bumper bar made, you want a roll cage, you want whatever, hit me up or, you know, comment below and I'll see if I can, you know, get to you guys, or DM me on Instagram. I'll put that right here or it'll be in the link below. I hope you guys enjoyed and I'm gonna get out of here. Later.